Good morning. Hello, welcome to class today. Take the next few minutes and just let yourself get settled. Gathering your props, adjusting anything you might need for your practice. Hello, and welcome to class today. Very happy that you're here to join me. I'm Irene Doherty, and today we have a practice that has to do with water. We're going to be working with the water elements. And the quality of water is that it helps us attract what really matters to us in life, and it helps us detach from the things that are false that are unstable, that are unpure, unkind. And if you've ever placed 2 drops of water on a countertop close enough to each other, you'll notice how they kind of come into each other and become one larger water drop. And that's this quality of attachment. And right, an attachment can go both ways. We can be attracted. Well, we're always attracting something, but are we attracting what we really want to be attracting? And are we able to detach from the things that we discover just aren't working for us anymore? During a time like this, over 5 months into the coronavirus pandemic, this process of attracting what we truly want and detaching from what we don't, it may not feel so easy, may not feel like a smooth process. And we'll notice that anytime we're experiencing some kind of challenge or contrast in our life. The flow, right? The flow isn't so flowy anymore. So yoga and polarity therapy really give us teachings and tools and practices to help us tune our frequency. It's not about Life isn't about never getting out of the flow. It's not about it always being smooth and easy. Life is the practice of being human being really comes in when that flow gets disrupted. And then what do we do with that? Water, the element of water, can remind us that change is inevitable. And can we drop the oars and stop trying to paddle upstream? Can we let go of that clinging to the shoreline that we do? Clinging to that one place on the shoreline that we are? Can we let go? And can we let that flow of change, the flow of uncertainty, take us a little bit? And as it's taking us, can we be conscious to sift through the things to make sure that we are attracting what we really want? And we are detaching from the untruths. And we'll explore this in our body with yoga, asana. We'll explore this in our breath with pranayama. Some things that you might like to have for practice today. I've got a strap here. This is probably one of my most useful props right now. You don't need a yoga strap. You can use any kind of belt, tie, rope, anything like that. Blanket might be handy. You could also be sitting on a chair. For these times that we're sitting on the ground, you can definitely be sitting in a chair. And I've also got some blocks with me, and I'm sitting up on my cushion. So elevate your seat if you haven't already, or maybe something in your body is telling you, maybe we should add just a little bit more lift, just a little bit more support from beneath, and that might give us the space we need to find a little bit more ease. And this seat takes time. This seat itself is a lifetime of a practice. So you can absolutely come into a chair for this centering part. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to traction our legs. We're going to traction our femur bones. These are the big thigh bones between the hip and the knee. So we're going to take that right hand and lean back. Take your left palm and as close to the hip joint as you can, press straight down to the floor, and then press out. And you might want to use your hands to wrap around the thigh a bit. I've got my thumb on the inside, fingers to the outside, pressing down, and then pushing like the skin and the muscle towards my knee. I'm not sliding on my leg. Pressing down and stretching the soft tissue towards the knee. And leaning back as we're doing that, so we're opening up the space between the lower ribs and the hip joint. Just take some deep breaths. Let that inhale really fill you up. Good. One more breath here. And then engage the navel center to lift yourself back up. lean off to the left, and we're going to do the same thing. So right palm down on the thigh, thumb on the inside, fingers wrapping to the outside, press down and then reach towards that knee, rolling out maybe just a little bit, and then breathing. Send the breath deep into the low lungs here, stretching that space between the rib cage and the hip. A few more deep breaths here. And then engaging our navel center to lift ourselves up. Coming back to center, let the hands rest on the legs. Allow the eyes to close down if that feels good, or bring the gaze down the tip of the nose. Allow the elbows to be heavy at your sides. Allow the hands to rest on the legs. And allow all the muscles of the face and the jaw to soften. Become aware of your physical body. Feel your body sitting on the earth. Become aware of your whole body. Whole body. Turning your attention now to the breath. Do nothing to change or direct the breath. Simply notice that you're breathing. Feel the breath and how it rhythmically moves through the body from the inside out. In this breath space, become aware of any emotions that may be present for you in this moment. Allow your mind to identify and to name the emotions without getting into the story surrounding it. Noticing how we feel in this moment. Body, breath, emotions. And through this feeling, become aware that you are energy. Become aware that you have a frequency, you have a vibration about you. Feel yourself as energy. And drawing our minds back into the physical body, we'll touch into our collective intention for practice today. This intention of gratitude, love and gratitude for water, this element that allows us to attract what truly matters and allows us to detach from all the things that are untrue and unstable. This collective intention to put down the oars, to let go of your grip on the shoreline and go with the flow of change, go with the flow of uncertainty. See where it takes you. And now holding in our hearts and our mind's eye all the sages and yogis of India who so carefully carried these teachings over thousands of years to then gift the teachings to the rest of the world so that we can be here, right now. May this sacred South Asian practice guide each of us back to our own roots, our ancestors, and may it help us to find our place of belonging in this world. Lifting up tall through the spine, bring the palms together at heart center, Anjali Mudra, gently pressing palms and fingers to each other, lifting the heart to meet the thumbs. Take a deep breath in. Fill the lungs up. Open the mouth. Let it go. Another deep inhale. Fill the lungs up. At the top of the inhale, this time, hold the breath in for a moment. Open mouth, exhale. One more big breath in. Hold the breath in. Sip in a little more breath. Open the mouth, releasing. Once again, lifting the heart center to meet the thumbs. Bow the head down to the heart. And gently releasing our hands back down to the legs. Slowly blink the eyes open, lifting the gaze. Okay. If you're sitting in a chair, you can remain there for now. If you're sitting with your ankles or shins crossed, take a look down and reverse the crossing. You can stretch your legs out long for a moment first, or simply switch. Rest the hands on the legs again, and we're going to take some stomach grinds, some really gentle movement and rotation coming down from the belly. Inhale, sit nice and tall. And with the exhale, first we're going to curl back just in the lower body for a little cat pose. The chin can release down to the chest. And then moving in either direction first, as you inhale, start to roll the belly forward. And as you exhale, roll the belly back. In, rolling belly forward. Inhale, exhale, rolling belly back. And so start off nice and slow. Right, in these practices, we move slower. And that does a few things. The slower we move, if we're new to this practice, then it might feel a little easier to understand what we're doing and learn how to connect into the movements. And then if you're an advanced practitioner, the challenge comes in on moving slower. It asks our minds to slow down even more. It asks our minds to focus even more. And we go deeper into a meditative practice. Good. Breathing deeply. A few more in this direction. Really letting the moving come down from the belly, like we're churning all of the digestive organs, and we're rolling the hip bones. They're almost like discs. You can imagine them as two discs on the side, rolling around those thigh bones, juicing up the joint. When you take your next exhale, we'll pause back here. When the inhale comes, reversing directions. Inhale, belly forward. Exhale, scoop belly back. Inhaling forward. Exhale, scooping back. And you might even notice the movements of your pelvic bones, almost like cat-cow. So there's this gentle rocking, not just side to side, but front and back in the pelvis. So this is low abdominal. Low belly. We can even think about rolling around our pelvic bowl. Sometimes it's helpful to imagine our pelvis, our hips, like a bowl. Breathing deeply, breathing through the nose. Take a few more in this direction. Really allowing our mind and our attention to drop down into the body. feeling all the obvious and maybe even the more subtle sensations that the movements wake up. Let's take one more full circle in this direction. And we'll pause once again in that exhale. Now bring the whole spine from tailbone to crown of head into cow pose. Shoulder blades reaching forward, chin tucking to chest. We'll bring the hands in front of the heart center, interlace the palms, and then with a big inhale, press those palms forward, lengthen through the elbows, and lift the torso all the way up. Reach those palms towards the ceiling. Maybe you wiggle a little bit in the rib cage. Take one more big inhale, lifting the rib cage out of the waist space. And as we exhale, release the fingertips and gently release arms down to the sides. We're going to change our position and come into a child's pose. And coming out of our seat, moving any props around that we might need. And depending upon the kind of flooring that you're on, you might like to have a blanket underneath your knees, a little extra cushioning. Bring the big toes to touch behind, and then open the knees a little wider than the hips. Now, it might not feel so great in the knees, the hips, or the ankles to come and sit right back onto the heels. So you can always use blankets, towels, or small pillows to place underneath and between those joints. So once we have that seat established, inhale, lift up really tall, lengthen through the front of the body. As we exhale, slowly start to walk the hands forward. Allow the forehead to come and rest on something. So if it's not the floor, and if we have to really bend the neck to make that happen, then place a little lift, a little towel, a little pillow or block underneath the forehead to keep the neck nice and long. In this child's pose, extended child's pose, palms are connecting, fingertips are connecting to the earth, elbows are lifting away from the earth. Come to find some big, full yogic breaths here. Inhale, fill your lungs up from the belly, all the way up to the chest and collarbones. And as you exhale, empty from the collarbones down to the belly. A few more breaths here. We'll take one more breath in this extended child's pose. And then lifting the belly up towards the spine, slowly start to walk the hands towards you. I'm going to turn myself around. We're going to come into some side body flows here. So taking that right arm out to the side, ground it down to the floor and sweep that left arm forward in front of you and then up and around. So we're in a side body stretch. Inhale, lift up, left side body, lift up through the front of the chest. And as we exhale, we're going to reach out to the right and sweep all the way around. That left hand will then ground down to the side, and we unwind into a side body stretch on the right side. Big inhale, fill up the right side body, fill up the chest. And as we exhale, reach out as far as you can go with the arm and torso sweeping around. We'll move breath by breath now. Inhale, unwinding, side body stretch. Exhale, reaching as we sweep around to the other side. Inhale, lengthening whole side body. Exhale, stretch and sweep to the other side. Inhale, opening. Exhale, switching sides. It's really tapping into the flow of our movements today. Right? We may not always have that smooth flowing movement in pieces of our life, but that's the beauty of asana, is we get to practice it in our body. And by doing that, we will let this frequency penetrate all areas of our life. Let's take one more to each side. Inhale, over. Exhale, sweeping around. As we exhale, we'll sweep around once again, but this time we're going to fold. So reaching that left arm out to the side. Now, you might just kind of curl up the fingers and make a little lift for your forehead, or you might place a block underneath it or some prop. Inhale, fill up that left side body, and as we exhale, reach that left hip back towards the left heel. One more full breath in, filling the lungs up. Exhale, empty completely. Hug navel center to spine as we exhale. Replace that right hand, to the side. We're going to inhale, open side body stretch. So we're lifting in the chest and torso. Exhale, sweep around to the left. Keep extending through that right side body now as we settle down into the fold. Again, we can curl up the fingers and make a little lift for the forehead, helping to keep the neck long and straight. Inhale, filling up the right side body. As we exhale, actively reach that right hip to right heel. Inhale, fill the lungs up. Exhale completely. One more full breath here. And we'll reset that left hand out to the side. Inhale, peel ourselves open for one more side body stretch. And then inhale, lift up to center. We're going to draw the knees a little closer to each other and come to lift up onto the knees. You can keep the toes flat. You can tuck the toes under if that works better for you. We'll interlace our fingers behind the body. This is a good place for a strap to come in as well as we're opening up our shoulders and gaining more space there. Take a big inhale, lift that heart center up. As we exhale, reach down towards child's pose. The forehead does not touch the floor here. Inhale, press into the shins, press the pelvis forward as we lift. Exhale, forward folding, knuckles lift up towards the sky. Inhale, lifting, pressing the pelvis forward, engage the glutes, the buttocks. Exhale, long spine as we come down. Now with this next inhale, lift up, root through the shins, but this time release the arms and cross the wrists above you. As we exhale, this time we'll sweep the arms behind us. Inhale, come back up, reverse the crossing of the wrists. Exhale, bow down as the fingertips reach behind. Inhale, reversing the wrist cross. Exhale, bowing down. Had a few more, inhaling up, keeping our shins engaged, and lengthen out through the toes, spread the toes. Oftentimes the toes start to crunch up to try to stabilize us, but instead spread the foot. Good. One more inhale, lifting up. Keep the body lifted. Simply release the arms down by the sides. We'll bring the hands forward on the mat. Stretch the legs back a little bit more so they're behind the hips. And we're going to bend the elbows straight back, dip the chest, dip the chin, hips stay in the air, and then press through for cobra. Adjust the body, spread the toes. Palms are spreading right next to the chest as the elbows hug towards each other and lengthen towards the feet. Rest the forehead on the floor for a moment. So the whole body is engaged here, and we're not even lifting for cobra, but we can feel the engagement in our low back. And the pubic bone is tucking towards the floor. So that's like the tailbone lengthening towards the feet, a little bit of cat pelvis. With our next inhale, lengthen the rib cage out of the waist as we gently float up. Chin continues to tuck to throat. As we exhale, lower back down. A few more. Inhale, lifting for cobra. Exhale, lower down. As we inhale and lift, really press the pubic bone down so we engage low belly. Exhale, lower. Let's do 3 more of these. Keep spreading those toes. And this does not have to be a big movement. Keep the movement smaller as we find length through the low back. Good, one more. Inhale, lifting, and this time let's take the hands really wide, so wide from the shoulders, maybe even in front. Let the elbows wing out to the side and then push the hands into the floor and let the elbows swing into the body. And again, you don't have to come up too high. Depends on your body. Listen to how your body is speaking to you right now in these poses. Let the shoulders soften down. Keep spreading the toes. Legs are real strong. Good. Take one more big breath in. And as we exhale, elbows swing out to the side, lower the forehead back down. Bring the hands under the chest again. We'll tuck our toes now. Lift the hips up off the floor. So see if you can even just lift the hips up off the floor first. And then keep moving from the belly and the hips, tabletop, into downward facing dog. Now I'm still loving, those of you who have been practicing with me for a while, know that I've been loving these short down dogs, and I'm still liking them. So step your feet a little closer to the hands, a little shorter than you might normally practice your down dog. And then find a bend in the knees so you can really lengthen through that low back as much as possible. Spreading through the fingers, engage all 10 fingertips into the mat. And then we're going to step our feet a little closer together. And with the knee straight, lift the right leg into the air, three-legged down dog. Now keep reaching that right leg, the whole leg away from the hip. Breathing here. Shoulder blades are wrapping towards the armpits. One more inhale. And as we exhale with the knee straight, lower the right foot down. Inhale, we'll lift the left leg, keeping the knee straight and then reaching the whole left leg out of the hip. All 10 fingertips still engaged. Spread the toes on both feet. Soften through the neck. Take one more big inhale. And as the exhale comes, lower that foot back down. Lift up real high on those tippy toes. Bend the knees real deeply and look between your hands. Step or hop to the front of your mat. As we inhale, lift and lengthen the torso halfway, long spine. Exhale, wrap the hands to the calf muscles and fold. Uttanasana. Let the head relax with gravity, but not the shoulders. Gently engaging the upper back so the shoulders stay lifted out of the ears. Take a big inhale here, and then exhale. Exhale, 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 exhale. Keep exhaling. When you think you're empty, exhale more. Inhale, half lift, Ardha. Pause here. Put a little extra bend in the knees, root down through the heels. When the next inhale comes, sweep the arms up, lifting tall. Exhale, cactus the arms. Keep the arms in cactus as we inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, release the arms by the sides. Gaze down the tip of the nose. Take a deep breath in. Open the mouth, let it go. Some staff of Brahman, one of my favorite flows. So take a moment and just walk in place, really find your footing. And I'm going to grab a sip of my tea. Now might be a good time for you as well. Okay. So we'll find our footing, walking in place again, and then letting our feet settle. And then just rock a little bit on those feet. Rock a little front to back, side to side, little circles. Really making a felt sense connection between every little part of your foot and the earth. And then settle in a place that feels the most like balance to you in this moment. Take a breath in, grow tall through the spine. Exhale, palms together at heart center. Inhale again, growing tall. As we exhale, a little tiny chair pose, sitting back towards our heels. Gaze down the tip of the nose. Take a breath here. And with our next inhale, root through the heels, lengthen the whole body, arms reach up. As we exhale, half fold, arms are out to a T, airplane arms. Bend the knees as much as we need to find length in the pelvis. As we inhale, draw the palms forward. Palms face up so the elbows can soften, shoulders can soften. Take another inhale here. And as we exhale, let it all go. Let the arms drape, let the shoulders and the head drape. Take a deep cleansing breath here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Bend the knees a bit, root through the heels. As we inhale, come all the way up, growing tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. We sit back down into our little chair pose. Inhale, lengthen up, breath by breath. Exhale, half forward fold, arms out to a T. Inhale, arms reach forward, palms up, neck is soft. Exhale, let it all go. Root through the heels. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, sitting in a small chair pose. We'll go through 3 more rounds of this. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, half fold, arms out to a T. Inhale, arms sweep forward. Exhale, let it all go. Root through the heels as we inhale ourselves all the way up. Exhale, little chair pose, hands at heart center. Inhale, we grow tall, stretching the body. Exhale, half forward fold, lengthen the arms out. Inhale, lengthen the arms forward. Exhale, let it all go. Inhale, rise all the way up. This time, lift onto tippy toes as we come up. Exhale, heels come down. Little chair pose. Last one. Inhale, rise up tall again. Lift on tippy toes this time. Release the heels first, then come into that half forward fold. Inhale, arms reach forward. Open the mouth, exhale. Let it all go. Rooting through heels. Inhale all the way up, then onto tippy toes. Exhale, release the heels, hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in. Open the mouth and let it go. Interlace the fingers in front of heart center. Reach the arms forward, lift up, and rise onto those tippy toes. Now, you can always bend the elbows to give the shoulders more space. And if this doesn't work for the wrists either, then release the hands and lengthen them up. Continue to lift through the whole body, not just the calf muscles, but the thighs, the belly, the rib cage, the gaze. Shoulders remain soft. One more big inhale. Exhale, release the heels down, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up, lift onto tippy toes. Exhale, release the heels, forward folding, Uttanasana. Release the head, but not the shoulders this time. Ground the hands down onto the floor, maybe prop some blocks, and step the right foot back. Take the knee down, pressing into the left heel. Inhale the torso up, but keep the arms low, reach them back behind. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Exhale, hands return to the floor. Lift the back knee and really stretch through the back of that right knee. And then step forward on an exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up onto tippy toes. Exhale, release the heels, hands to heart center. Gaze down the nose, take a cleansing breath. Other side. Inhale, arms forward and up. Rise onto tippy toes. Exhale, release the heels. Forward folding. Long spine as we come down. Release the head completely. Then inhale, take the left foot, step it back, knee comes down, and we rise up. Root through that right heel to lift the torso. Arms stay low behind us. With that next inhale, lift up through the arms, the whole rib cage. Exhale, hand back to the floor. Lengthen that left knee and lift through the back knee real strong. Take a big inhale and exhale, step to the front of the mat, forward folding. Inhale, rising up tall all the way onto tippy toes. Exhale, right into the other side now, forward folding. Inhale, right foot steps back, the knee comes down, and we rise up. Pausing for the exhale, rooting through the left heel. Inhale, sweep arms forward and up. Exhale, plant those hands and lengthen that right knee, low lunge. Exhale, stepping to the front of the mat, releasing the head. Inhale, grow tall all the way up onto tippy toes. Exhale, forward folding. Inhale, left leg steps back, knee comes down. We rise up in the torso, reach the arms behind us. With that next inhale, grow tall, lift arms up. Exhale, release the hands down, low lunge, lengthening from heart to heel. Stepping to the front of the mat, forward folding. Inhale, grow tall, rising onto tippy toes. Exhale, release the heels, hands to heart center. Gaze down the nose, take a deep breath in. Open the mouth, let it go. And we're gonna open ourselves up to the side to take a nice wide stance on our mat. Toes are pointing forward and really roll to the outside edges of the feet so we keep the inner arches lifted. We're gonna take the arms out to shoulder height. Big breath in, lifting up tall through the spine. And as we exhale, we'll take the left hand and reach it towards the right leg. Reach wherever is comfortable. You don't have to make it to the foot. Inhale, come back up to center. Use the legs to lift. Exhale, right arm to left leg. Lengthen the tailbone behind you as you do this. Use those legs to inhale back up to center. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, over to the left. But so find your rhythm, right? With all these flows, even though we're all practicing this together, we each have our own pace, our own perfect pace. So find that in your breath and then start to link the speed and the fluidity of the movement up to the breath. Right. Inviting this quality of water into our physical body, into our breath with this practice so that it can filter out into all the other areas of our life. And the next time that we find ourselves at work, the chin in line with the collarbone as you lift. Big inhale, find length from belly to collarbones. Exhale, empty the lungs, twisting a little deeper. Good, one more full breath here. Good, and with our next inhale, use both legs and come back up to center, arms out to a T. Exhale, over to the left. First adjustment we make is we take this left arm, let it lift the chest, and then bend the elbow so we can find movement in the shoulder and twist in the rib cage. The right hand might feel good on this leg. You can absolutely keep it here. You might like to bring the hand underneath the shoulder. And now we might notice as we twist that we kind of shift into this left hip a little bit. So little bend in that left knee and reaching to the outside edge of that knee can help stabilize the pelvis again. Gaze towards the floor. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist deeper. Find the right place for your head, your neck, and gaze. And continue to breathe. Inhale, fill the lungs up from belly to collarbones. Exhale, empty the lungs, deepening the twist. 2 more full breaths here. One more big inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, twist as deep as you can. And then we'll use both legs. Inhale, back up to center, arms to a T. Exhale, release the hands down. Bring the hands onto the hips. Squeeze the elbows back and lift the chest. Big inhale. As we exhale, half forward folds. We bring the shoulders in line with the hips and then walk the hands down to the floor. Now we're going to walk our hands around to the right, coming into lizard pose. Let the back knee come down, flatten the foot. So we're in a wide, low lunge. We've got both shoulders on the inside of that left knee. Take another inhale and lengthen the front of the spine. And if there's more space, then start to bend the elbows. Maybe you come down onto the forearms. Maybe you bring some props underneath your forearms so that both forearms, we want to be nice and even on a surface so the chest can reach forward. Breathing here. And this left foot can be as wide as it needs to be. Just notice if you're rolling onto the pinky edge of the foot, then lift and spread the toes. Let the inhale fill us up with space. And let the exhale carry out what we don't need. As we inhale, we attract the things to us that we truly want in life. And as we exhale, we release that attachment to the things that are unstable, the things that are untrue. Let the mind stay focused in the body and with the breath. 3 more here. Big inhale, fill the lungs up. Exhale, empty. Pull that navel center in and up. Another big inhale. Exhale, empty. And our last breath will be a cleansing one. In through the nose, out through the mouth. After that cleansing breath, ground down through the big toe on that left foot. Pull the navel center to the spine and start to lift the torso up. We'll tuck those back toes, lift the knee. We're going to walk ourselves back around. So we're in our half forward fold, wide leg. And then we're going to keep going, keep walking around to the left until we end up in our low lunge on the other side. So now with the right leg forward, the left knee will come down, flatten that foot. Adjust the position of this leg for your hip, and maybe you've got your prop ready. Grounding down through the hands, take a big inhale and lift through the front body. As we exhale, slowly start to lower. And we might be working right here with lengthening the torso. Go to the place that is workable for you. The place where we can still access some flow, some fluidity. And again, just noticing if we tend to roll onto the pinky edge of this right foot, that's okay. Just lift and spread the toes as you do that. Let each inhale bring to you everything that you truly desire in life. And then let each exhale release the attachments to the things that aren't serving you. Inhale, filling up from belly to collarbones. Exhale, empty from collarbones to belly. Take 3 more deep breaths here. Really pulling that navel center in at the bottom of the exhales. And our final breath will be a cleansing one. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Round the base of that right big toe. Whole navel center to the spine and slowly start to lift the torso. We'll tuck our back knees, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and we'll walk our hands around to the right again. So we end up back in our half forward fold. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine halfway. Exhale, release the head to a fold. Continue to engage shoulder blades towards the hips, rooting into the pinky edge of our feet. Take a big inhale here, fill yourself up, and then exhale, 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 exhale. Keep going. When you think you're empty, exhale more. Inhale, lift the torso halfway. And then we'll start to heel toe the feet in towards each other. Bend the knees and come to take a seat. We'll place the feet on the floor. The toes can be touching, the feet can be wide. Again, let your hips direct you as to the proper placement. Take a hold of the shins. As we inhale, lift the torso up, roll shoulders back, coming into cow pose. As we exhale, curl the spine in, chin to chest, cat pose. Inhale, lifting front body. Exhale, stretching through the back body. Had a few more of these. Inhale, rolling up. Exhale, rolling down. 3 more. Finding the fluidity in your breath and then matching the movement to the breath. About 1 more full round. And inhale, we'll lift our torso back to center. Let the knees open out to the side. So coming into tortoise pose. So we're not going to pull the feet close into the body, but we're going to keep them wide. And putting a little bit of a blanket underneath the hips might be really helpful for you. Either way, rock around from side to side and move the muscles of the glutes, the buttocks out of the way. Take a hold of the shins wherever it's comfortable. Sit up nice and tall. And as we exhale, slowly start to fold forward. Now the spine is going to round. That's totally okay. You might have some props and you might be in a position where the forehead will rest on the props. And sometimes putting a block in between the feet is a good placement for that. Elbows can hang on the inside of the legs. You might start to thread the forearms underneath the shins. And let the breath soften here. Let the whole body soften into this shape. Can we soften even though there might be lots of sensation? And some of the sensation may not be comfortable. But can we soften into it? Can we allow that sensation to be present, to express itself, so it can change? Can we put down the oars in trying to make this pose a certain way? Can we let our grip of the shoreline go? And allow this pose to take us. Imagine in your body, through your torso, through all of your limbs, that there is a river running. A river running through each of your limbs, a river running through your torso. And you're not trying to paddle against its flow. You're not trying to grip onto the shoreline. Let the flow of the pose take you. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Gently deepen these breaths. Allow the breath to move you from the inside out. And the final breath will be a cleansing one. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Pull navel center towards the spine, and from that strong abdomen, slowly start to walk the hands up, lifting the torso. At least one hand to each knee, maybe both hands. Maybe both hands for each knee. Bring the legs back together again. And we'll, with the feet on the floor, before you lay down, we're coming to lie down on our back. If you have a strap, take a hold of your strap. To come down onto the floor, we have 3 options. Feet on the floor, arms extended, and we roll down. We can lengthen the legs and roll down, or we can lift the legs, coming through boat pose to come down. As you roll the spine down, release the shoulder blades, release the back of the head, and then make any adjustments, especially if you have ponytails, clips, headbands on, things like that. Want to make sure that the occiput, the very back of our skull, is resting down on the ground evenly. We're going to walk our feet towards us. We're coming into our bridge pose, an active bridge pose. With our legs extended, we're going to do some leg extensions in them. So, and by active, that's the action. So if you're feeling like you want to prop underneath your sacrum, that triangle bone between the muscles of the glutes, take that option today. If you have your strap, wrap the strap around the front of the ankles, placing the feet down and gripping the strap close to the ankles. Maybe you're going to interlace your hands under the back once we lift the hips. Push, flatten the low back onto the ground first. So we're tucking the pelvis, pubic bone and belly button come closer together. Flatten the low back first, and then push into the heels, lifting the pelvis up for our bridge pose. Now shimmy from side to side, tuck the shoulders underneath the body. Lift the front of the hip bone straight up towards the sky and reach the knees away from the hips. So hip bones lift up, knees reach away from those hip bones. Gaze down the tip of the nose, watch yourself breathing. And then we're going to shift more weight into the left leg, take the right leg, hug the thigh towards the belly first, and then reach that foot up towards the sky. Point through the spread. Keep lifting the hip bones up towards the sky. Lengthen through that right leg, root through the left leg. One more big inhale, lifting. Now bend the knee, hug the thigh into the belly. Keep the hips lifting as we place that right foot back down onto the floor. Take a breath here, finding center. And then we'll extend the left leg up. First, pull the thigh to the belly, keep the hip bones lifting, and then straighten through the knee. Reach through the ball mound of the ball mound of the foot. Spread those toes. Keep lifting both hip bones up. Continue to breathe. Gaze towards the chest. Watch your torso breathing. One more inhale, lifting. Exhale, bend the knee first. Keep those hip bones lifting as the left foot comes back down. One more big inhale, lift the hip bones. Exhale, start to tuck the pelvis as we slowly roll down. Now we're going to take our legs up the wall, or 90 degrees. So if you actually do have a wall nearby, you can take that. If you have a nice piece of furniture, you can also place your legs up like that. I'm going to use my cushion and lift my hips up. I'm going to slide the cushion underneath the hips. So if you were in a supported bridge, you might still be in this position. And then we'll take the thighs, tuck them in towards the belly, and then lengthen up through the legs. Allow the arms to relax out. And the legs are extending, but not so much effort as the one leg extension in that bridge pose we just practiced. Let the pelvis soften a little bit. Keep the toes spreading. And we'll take 10 deep breaths here. Count down your breaths from 10 to 1. Softening any tension in the face, neck, or shoulders. Softening all the way down to the fingertips. Using just enough effort to hold ourselves here. And depending upon your legs and how your body is talking to you, you might add a little bend in the knees. Softening the thighs. Softening the front of the belly. Not the front of the belly. Use the belly. Soften the front of the hips. Continue counting down your breaths. And allow your last breath to be a cleansing one. In through the nose, out through the mouth. When you're ready to release, gently bend the knees first. Allow the thighs to move towards the belly. And then one by one, place the feet back to the floor. Pause for a moment. And then gently, if we have a prop beneath us, lift the hips, slide the prop out. If we have our legs up on a piece of furniture and we want to stay there for Shavasana, or even legs up the wall, we can definitely do that. And we're going to slowly extend our body out for Shavasana, corpse pose. If there's anything you need to adjust, any clothing, maybe there's some support under the knees or the head that would feel good for you. Take as little movement as possible to make those adjustments. Keep those movements extra slow. All those movements are just as important as any other piece of our practice. And then once you are lying down, let go. Shavasana, corpse pose. Let this pose really release all unnecessary attachments. Let this posture drain you of resistance. Let this posture drain you of clinging, allowing yourself to simply be. Be still. Let go and be still. Becoming aware of your physical body, becoming aware of your breath. Begin to deepen the breath. And as you deepen the breath, remembering our collective intention for this practice today, to invite the flow of water in, to allow the water to carry to us the things that we truly want, and allowing the water to carry away all the things that are unstable, untrue. Giving ourselves over to the flow of change and uncertainty, trusting that the river will take us exactly where we're meant to go. Allow the breath to make its way into your fingers and toes. Let that breath start to Gently begin to move and stretch however it feels good for you. Waking up from this Shavasana, waking up from this corpse pose as a refined version of yourself. All these movements will eventually take us over into the fetal position. Rest on either side, using your bottom arm or a prop as a pillow. Rest on your side. Take a deep breath there. And then whichever hand is the top one, press that hand into the floor and slowly peel the body up, allowing the head, very last piece, to lift. Reset your seat, whether it's on the floor or in a chair. If you're in a chair, place the feet firmly on the earth. Take one hand and place it over your belly. Take the other hand and place it over your heart center. We're going to come into our breath practice of full yogic breath. Empty the lungs and hug the belly in to empty the lungs. As we inhale, let the belly fill, let the rib cage fill, let the collarbones fill. Exhale, empty from the collarbones, the rib cage, then the belly. Navel center hugs in. Inhale, filling up belly, rib cage, collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, rib cage, belly. Inhale, belly, rib cage, collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, rib cage, belly. Inhale, let the breath fill the body up from bottom to top. Exhale, empty the body from top to bottom. Please continue with this practice. Imagining an ocean wave, a very gentle ocean wave, rolling up the body on the inhale, cresting at its height at the top of the inhale, and then exhale, that ocean wave rushes to the shore, bottom of the exhale. Inhale, the wave pulls back into itself and fills itself up, cresting. Exhale, the wave rushes and thins out along the shoreline. Inhale, invite the wave into the body. Exhale, invite the wave into the body. We're going to continue with this full yogic breathing, but we're going to change it just slightly. Take an inhale and let that next exhale slow down. Consciously, with effort, slow the exhale down so it takes longer than the inhale. Allow the inhale to fill you up at a slow, regular pace, and then the exhale is even slower. Full yogic breath with extended exhale. Finish the round you're on, and then take one more. the bottom of that exhale, release the practice. Allow the hands to rest on the legs, either closing down the eyes and having a gentle internal gaze towards third eye center, or gaze down the tip of the nose, anywhere from 6 inches to 2 feet away from you. Allow the breath to happen naturally. Now syncing our mind up to the flow of breath. As each inhale enters the body, let the mind sing the vibration so. And as each breath exits the body, let the mind sing the vibration hum. Inhale so, exhale hum. So hum, meditation. When the mind wanders away, notice that and gently guide the mind back to so hum. Releasing the practice. Releasing chin to chest. Bringing our palms together in Anjali Mudra, this hand position that helps guide us back into our own center. Lift the heart to meet the thumbs, lift the head, and we'll share in the vibration of peace, Shanti. Feel free to sing, feel free to listen. Take a deep breath in, let it go. Inhale to chant. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lifting our hearts, bowing the head. Take this moment to send yourself love and gratitude. Thank yourself for carving out this time and space to practice, to tune yourself. And take a moment to offer love and gratitude to everyone in this moment around this globe who is practicing right now, magnifying our own practice with this focus. Sending love and gratitude out even further to all the teachers who ever were, to all the teachers who are, to all the teachers who ever will be. Thank you for carrying this practice and sharing this practice. For you, take everything from this class that serves you. Leave behind anything that does not. And may the work we started today continue on for your highest good and healing. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your practice and your energy with me today. Oh, may this flow and frequency carry throughout your day, throughout your week. Check out some more videos. I keep adding them each week. You can join me live on Tuesday mornings at 8 a.m. Mountain Time. And donations are greatly appreciated. This is my livelihood. So anything that can be donated through my website or Venmo is greatly appreciated. And know that a portion of all the proceeds I receive from teaching yoga will be donated to Guided by Humanity, a Colorado-based yoga nonprofit. So thank you so much for joining. If you ever have any questions, write a comment, get in touch with me through my website, irenedoherty.com, and I'll see you next time.